our learning target today. Can we read it together, please? All right, 3, 2, what do you see? Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. I will learn to edit a formal letter using a rubric. What does edit mean? What does edit mean? Yeah, fix it, change it. So we're going to fix our formal letters that you wrote to Ms. G and myself using a rubric. R-U-B-R-I-C. What is a rubric? What is a rubric? Does anybody know? A rubric is like a set of rules or guidelines you need to follow. So we're going to use this rubric to make our formal letters perfect. Because the formal letters you gave to myself and Ms. G, there were a few small mistakes. So we're going to go back and change our formal letters using this rubric. Okay? So this rubric has about 12 guidelines on it. And each guideline has points attached to it. Okay? So you're going to use this rubric to change your formal letters that you wrote to myself and to Ms. G. And then you're going to turn them in and you get a total of 30 points. Okay? So all these guidelines together add up to 30 points. So we're going to change our formal letters that you wrote. I think Deanne and me. You have to write it for me. You haven't written a letter yet, right? Obviously. You wrote one. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go through the rubric first, so you know what's on here. Then we're going to practice using that letter that I wrote to Ms. G. So I wrote a letter to Ms. G as well. I'm going to hand that letter to each one of you. You're going to practice changing the mistakes on. So first, let's go through the rubric. Directions. Let's see. Devanya, can you read the directions? Thank you. Loudly, please.
Please read each question below and check if the answer is yes. If you cannot answer yes, please go back to the letter and check. Each question has a functionality next to it.
So, what I'm going to do later, I'm going to hand out the rubric with your letter attached. You're going to go through your letter using the rubric and make all the corrections and mistakes, change the mistakes. Okay? So we're going to go through each one quickly. So number one, how about this? How about we just go one by one? Each person read one. Devon, we go first. What's the first one? Sorry, please. Yeah, so this is worth 2 points. So when you write a formal letter, the first thing you need to have is your contact information at the top. Your name, your address, your phone number, your email. You have all these things at the top of your letter. That is worth 2 points. Okay? Let's go.
Do you have a clear date on your letter? November 3, 2020. The month should have a capital letter.
So, on your letter, you should have the date. November 9th, 2021. The date should be capitalized, okay? Next one.
Do you have the contact information of the person you are writing to? Their name, job title, place of work, and address.
Yeah, very good. So, contact information. So, if you're writing to me, you would say Jason McNeil, teacher at Mookie High School, the address. Yes? Number 4. Let me just read. You have. Yeah, so the greeting, what's the greeting? What do you say the greeting? Hi, hello, yellow, dear. How are you using it? Yeah, hello, dear, hi, yeah. Next one. Nothing. The body. Yeah, very good. So your letter should have 1, 2, 3 paragraphs. Yes. First paragraph, why are you writing the letter? Second paragraph, what you like and what you don't like. Third paragraph, what changes do you want to see? All right. Let's go quickly. Read that. Please. This one. Golly. So when you begin a sentence, you need a capital letter. So when you read your letter, when you make the changes to your letter, make sure all the sentences in your letters that have a capital letter at the beginning. Okay, next one. Yeah.
What?
This one. What?
Do you have a closure at the end of the letter?
Good. What's a closing? Sincerely. Love. Yes. Yeah. From. Thanks. Yeah, those are closings. Good. Next one. We're almost there. Teddy, go. Did you? Hey. Yeah, so at the end of a formal letter, you have to sign your name. You don't write your name. You have to sign it. So we use this font to sign our name at the end of the letter. When you're using a name, our names will always have capital letters. So Mia should be a big J. Jason should be a big J. Yes? All right. Reminder. Font size means how big are the words in your letter, right? So if your font is like 20 or 25, it's too big. So your font size is the size of the letter. Your font size should be 12. Okay. Last one. Bert. Line. What does a line mean? So a line means like your letter, all the paragraphs should start from the left-hand side. The others should be in. Should all start from the left-hand side. So this is the rubric we're going to follow. So when you get your letters back, you have to make all the changes to your letter to match the rubric. Okay? We're going to practice first. Okay? So I'm going to give you, I think you can work in pairs. I'm going to give you a letter that I wrote to Ms. G. I want you to go through the letter and make all the changes, find all the mistakes in the letter, and highlight the mistakes in the letter. So you can take out a pen, a pencil, or highlighter. Okay? I want you to look for all the mistakes in this letter that I wrote. Okay? And then we'll go through the rubric and we'll find out what mistakes I made. Okay? Alright? You can work together. So me and Sienna, you can work together. Find all the mistakes in the letter. Bird, you can work together. You guys want to work together?
Yeah.
Do it. Alright. Hey, you okay?
Yeah.
Three of you? Are you going to work? Alright, you can work together. Okay, that's fine. You can work together. That's fine. Just work. Okay. That's like a meeting. You can work together. You guys want to work together? So I want you to find all the mistakes in the letter. Highlight them, please. Any mistake that you find in the letter. So, for example, I'm going to put the letter up. So, for example, this is the letter, right? So, for example, the first mistake that you see, like, my information is at the top. What mistake do you see?
Capital.
Yes, my name is not capital here. That's the first mistake. So, you highlight that. You highlight that. So, for example, so I do this. I can highlight that, okay? So, for example, what are the mistakes? Like in the date, what mistake do you see? Which one the date?
Capital.
Yeah, it's no capital, yeah. So you highlight that, okay? So all the mistakes you see, you highlight, okay?
Can you guys see that highlighted? Is that easy to see for you?
Is it okay, or is, I feel like Or a different color?
Or the highlight button is right next to that one. So that's changing the text, but if you want to highlight it,
Oh, I see. Yeah. Well, on your papers you can highlight or circle, right? So, for example,
it's okay. Yeah, you did great.
so there's something missing here. There's something missing here. What's missing? Name. Yeah, the name's missing. So circle that, right? Okay. So take your time. Take your time. There's some tricks in there, okay? So make sure all the sentences have capital letters at the beginning. Make sure you have periods at the end of the sentence. Yes? Check for all the mistakes. All the mistakes. Listen. What's missing here? Yes. Just take the tabs and sign. You guys finished? I'll give you 2 minutes, and then we'll go through it. There's a lot of mistakes. Yeah, make sure. So for example, why is this? Should it be? Oh, you put an arrow. Yeah. 1 minute. You done? Is everybody finished? You guys finished? What's this in here? Right. Sincerely. Yeah. Close it, right? Close it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. You got it. Yeah. All right, let's say please. Yes. You have to wait till Leah comes back and then you can go. What? No. Okay, listen. Look up here, please. Let's go through the mistakes. So, you looked at the rubric, so we're going to go through the mistakes that we saw in the letter. So, we highlighted. My name should be capital, right?
Yes.
The date should be capital. What's missing here?
Name.
My name, yeah. Sorry, this is G's name. So let's say Miss G. Okay? Next. Let's go down. Is the greeting okay?
No.
What's wrong with the greeting?
Capital.
Capital, yeah, get it.
And then
What else?
M and.
Okay, so let's see. Big D.
Oh, it doesn't need a period.
No period. Good. It should be a colon. It should be a colon. So for a formal letter, everybody look up here. For a formal letter, you need to have a colon. Colon. Okay? For an informal letter, you can have a comma. For a formal letter, we have a colon. Okay? So you can make it, if you don't have that, make the changes on the paper, please. Make the changes on the paper. Okay? It should be a colon. So make the changes. Okay. What is the next mistake we see? What's the next mistake? Repeat that. What's the next mistake? Where I word? Yes, good. So we should have a capital I here. Good? Alright. Any other mistakes? You need a period here. Yeah, very good. Okay. What's wrong with this here? Capital I. What else is wrong?
The eyes too.
What's wrong with this? So let's.
Search.
Yes.
That's different.
No, it's not.
That is.
That's the same one. It's the same one. Oh yeah, yeah, good. So what should I do here? What should I do here?
Align it.
Align it, yes, align it. Align it. Perfect. Yeah, align it, yes. It should all be to the left. Oh, sorry. Oh, the computer's a little funky. So it should all be to the left. Okay?
Mister, you need to see that arrow on the computer?
Right. Oh, this one?
No. On the bottom right.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, no, across the right.
Oh.
The back space.
Wow. I appreciate it. Thank you, computer literate. Okay. What else is wrong? Capital I, yeah.
Capital I, and then
Oh,
capital I.
We don't have that on our
you should.
Yeah, we don't.
You should.
Yeah, you do. It's over there.
Hey, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, it's just
Mine is bigger. Mine is bigger. So you can see it. Mine is just bigger. Okay.
Another I.
Another I, yes. Very good. So this should be capital. Okay, what's missing here?
Closing.
Closing. What kind of closing should I have?
Sincere.
Sincerely, love.
Yeah.
This is,
Clothing.
huh?
Clothing.
Yes, okay. From, okay. Okay, I'm gonna say things. I'm gonna say things. And then, yeah, my name should be signed, not written. So I should sign my name, right? So I'm gonna delete this. So I go to my font. I go to Pacifico, this one, and then I type my name again. So now my name is signed at the end of my letter, okay? So what we just did is what you're going to do for your letter, okay? So I'm going to give everybody back their letter with the rubric on it. Yes? Second. Sign out. Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, you said water, right? Yes. I'm sorry.
Water.
Quickly. Okay. All right. So listen. I'm going to give everybody back their letter, their formal letter that they wrote to me and Miss G. You need to use the rubric to make the corrections to your letter. So when you finish, you should have a perfect letter. So what I want you to do is make the corrections on the paper first, and then on the computer. Okay? So, for example, if your letter only has one paragraph, it should have 3 paragraphs. So you need to add. Okay? Alright? So this is worth 30 points. This is worth 30 points. So you need to change your letter, correct your letter, edit your letter, so your rubric is perfect, so your letter is perfect. Okay? Does everybody understand? Yes? There's no rush, take your time. So first you can do it on the paper, then you can type it in the computer. Okay. Yeah. I didn't get your letter. So you have to take the letter. I don't have your formal letter.
I can help her. I'll go around and help her load it up.
So these are your letters that you've already written. You're just going to correct them now. So the rubric is attached. Okay. So I want the letters perfect. Yeah, you seem very happy. So your letter's attached, so you have to make the changes to your letter. Amina. You're not calm. Very well. If you finish this, you can go on to your principal letter and use the rubric to do your principal letter as well. Okay? I'm saying, you didn't really write your letter, so you have to write a letter. So you have to use the rubric to make changes to your letter. So your letter has to be perfect, right? Yeah, so you have to follow each one of these. You have all these. So you have to use the rubric to change your letter, okay? Make sure your name's on this. No. I looked at yours. It's not. You have to look. No. You should read your letter first before you just start checking yeses. Your letter is not perfect. No, I read it. I know it's not perfect. So look at it, read it, and then make the changes you need to make so it looks like a formal letter. Okay? So for example, I can tell you right now.
Wait, Mr. But we have
So for example, you have your date that in your thing. So we said we're gonna have 2 paragraphs. Each paragraph. You have a comma in here, so you hold it. Yeah. That's right. That's how you know.
Look, she's got a coffee time.
No, you have to read through it first. So you just have to change it so it matches this. So you can type it if you want. You can type it. So I'm giving you this, so like when you read this, like you have this, because there's a total of 30. If you don't have this, you don't get the points for it. Is it right? You have to make sure it's correct. Like for example, this is like the first one is not right, right? Because you have the date in here. The date should be separated, right? The rest of it is fine. So you have to write a letter. You have to write a formal letter. So we go to our class. So you're not wait. You said you get 30. Oh, okay. We have to change it now. You have to change it. So like, for example, is the bot all the same? It's not all the same. Like this is a different size than this, right? You need to change it. You should put it. Change it so it should look like a perfect letter. It should be no mistake. So alright, we'll get back. Yeah. You get another paragraph. Yeah. So now you get to change it. Alright, so go to another line form. Alright, but make sure, listen. Make sure it's all the same size, all the same font. Make sure you have 3 paragraphs. And then the rest is okay. Alright? Okay. So you have to change this letter. So you have to do Google Docs. So you said every class. 10 is your computer started now? use your computer to type a new letter, okay? You want? Oh, go get your word. Come on, quickly. Okay, so you guys should be using the rubric to correct your letters. Once you correct them, please open your computers and type the letters. All right? Fixing your mistakes. Fixing your mistakes and then turn them into. Yes. So all the same size. Not the same quality. So you should highlight the whole highlight.
Wait, I need that.
Okay. So now we can turn it short. There you go. That's better. Okay.
All right, now.
Use your rubric.
Thank you, though.
So use your
No,
rubric to make sure everything's okay.
Okay.
And then if you think everything you think is perfect, you don't check it. You think it's perfect. There's no mistake.
Thank you, though.
So it says here, so you should have for a formal letter, you should have a colon. So be careful, just make sure everything's okay before you turn it in. Okay? Make sure all the beginnings of the sentence are capitalized, things like that. Okay. Colon. That two dots. The dot over the dot. Yeah, that. Make sure it's all to the left, right? Make sure you have 3 paragraphs. Okay? Okay? So you have 3 paragraphs in your letter. Make sure you have the address, the date, clothing, signature. Yes. Alright, so you need 3 paragraphs, right? That's 1 paragraph. It's 4 sentences. It's a 3 paragraphs, but 3 paragraphs. So a paragraph is a bunch of sentences together. So you need 3 paragraphs. 3 paragraphs. Just so you rubric. Paragraphs don't have to be very long. It could be like a couple sentences. Where you can write this. Oh no, so this just says example. This is an example. So you just look at your letter and make sure you have all these right. So this is an example. So when you use this and then you correct your letter and then you turn it into the and you get 30. You have to make sure you have all these different. So I'm going to check. So it should be under in your classwork. This should be writing a formal letter. That's where your letter is, okay? It's here. View assignment. be editing your letters now. Making sure they're perfect. Use the rubric, please. Okay. Take your time. It's not a rush. Not a race. Perfect. 30 points. This thing. Okay. Ready to turn it? So when you finish this one, you can work on the principal. So use the same rubric for the principal letter. Okay? What about you? You turn your principal in? If you turn in the formal letter to Miss G and myself, you can do your principal letter. Okay? Are you okay? You need the principal? You can do the principal one. So use the same rubric for the principal letter. So be sure it's perfect. Okay? Well, can you start your letter? So you're writing a letter to myself and Miss G. If you start your letter, I'll let you go forward. You start your letter? So the letter, no, delete that. So the letter to Miss G and myself is about the class. What you like about the class, what you maybe don't like about the class, or what you feel should change about the class. Okay? So the first paragraph is like, why are you writing the letter? So you say, I'm writing the letter to tell you what I like about the class. You want to write the letter again? Yeah, you can if you want. So you use make sure you use the format, okay? And then you want to talk about the things you like and the things you don't like about the class. And then finally, what changes do you want to see in the class? Okay? That's it, how you doing? Write the letter. Okay, great. Okay, so that's your first one. That's fine. So write what you like, what you like, what you don't. And then the last paragraph is things you want to change. This is good. Good. Okay. So now you have to write what do you like, how do you like. Amina, how are you doing? So make sure you do, when you finish your formal letter to me, do the one to the principal, please. Okay, good. So wait a minute, are you writing some, are you writing some messaging or are you writing? See, if you check it. You should always check before you turn it in. Make sure you check everything. Check everything. Okay? Don't just turn it in. Did you check it? No, if you check it, turn it in, and then work on the principal. Do the same thing. No, we get these removed. Yeah. You want to know? No. What I'm saying is, I know you're done, but there were mistakes in it. So, what's your? No. So you have. So you better just okay, fine. So now you should do the principal, right? So you go to your class for. all be the
It's
same
okay.
size, right? So if your font is the same, it's the same font as your body. So these are the fonts. So you know what to do. Just highlight everything. And then it'll be the same size, right? So I'll put it on this. It'll be good. You have capital letters, you have periods, there's no mistakes. You can check it before you turn it in. Yeah, I saw your letters. Man. What's going on? So, why are you writing the letter? So, write this letter to talk to you about the school. Then, what you like about the school, what you don't like, and what changes you want to see in the school. Be right. Yes. Do paragraphs.
Hey, G, I added you.
So we have 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left. So if you finish your formal letter, please, you write down a formal letter to the principal. Okay?
See that?
Good? Good? Yeah.
See, look at this.
So these words should all be the same font, right? So, yeah, it should all be the same, all the same size. So, you might need it. I'm good. You want it? Yeah, so I'll just highlight everything and make this inside. So you follow. Still bigger than that. It should all, no, just go here. There you go. There you go. So look, for example, this should be, what's going on here? Right? So what's the format, right? So it should be, name, right? School, and then so just double check it. And then your reading should be separate. And you should hold it up for your reading. So just be careful. This one, did you done your principal letter? Let me see.
Well, I'm working 3, 4 hours. Camera, 6 camera, 10 camera, 15. Oh my god. Maybe the first challenge. I
Really? No, this is perfect. This letter is perfect.
I'm done.
So, what do we say about the
That's my idea. Look.
Alright, yeah, you turn it in. It was perfect.
Is there? Is there mine?
Sure. Yeah. Make sure your name's signed. Change your mind. Yes. So,
Yvonne, are you in your presentation, your portfolio? Can you go to slide 18?
Oh, we done. Good. Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, learn.
Oh, yeah. This team, after this, we hold it. Hold this to not just have each other. Hey, Dad, let me see your. Let me see. Why are you playing with this? You good?
Yeah.
See?
Yvonne.
You never even played.
See? I pressed this.
Good. Good. So it should all be the same size. Okay? You know what I mean? So the words should all be the same size. So for example, just highlight it. Yeah, just highlight it. And then you make it the same size. Where's your font? Oh, you go ahead. Okay, we only have 1 minute left, so please, you can close your computers now. Please clean your desk, okay? If you didn't submit your letters, please submit them as soon as you can, okay? Alright, clean your desk, clean your desk. I'll take the rubric back, okay? I'll take the rubric back, okay? So if you go on your desk, I'll take it back. I will put the rubric in the classwork so you can see the rubric. You have access to it, okay? So I will add this to the classwork, okay? So you can see it.